That's a great question. Several things come to mind. One is become more comfortable with authenticity.
Hmm.
Right there.
Yeah.
Becoming more just comfortable with being real about who you are. And in the language of Carl Rogers, lining up these three circles, uh, what's really true about you in the moment, like what's the actual readout or state of the body mind in this moment, including what's consciously available, what's really true in your internal world in that moment. Second circle, what are you aware of as what's really true? And then last, what do you express or reveal to people? And that doesn't mean we have to be utterly transparent at all times. It's appropriate to filter things out. But on the whole, can you be comfortable with being authentic? How in the world can you give over to your calling if you're not able to be truly aware of your own depths and comfortable with them? And then that goes to developing assertiveness skills and realizing that fences make for good neighbors, and that being able to and choose your relationships so that it's safe to be authentic with the people around you, and get used to being authentic and be brave enough to be authentic. Brene Brown stuff about the courage to be vulnerable and so forth. So I mean, and that's really key. And a lot of people, they're just not comfortable with real-time authenticity. And it's just, for example, the distinction: can you feel it while you say it? Rather than reporting on your own experience like a journalist from a war zone on the other side of the planet. A lot of people read out their internal process, they describe their experience, but they're not feeling it as they say it. For example, that's real-time authenticity. And just get used to it, practice it, feel the echoes in your own body as you speak your truth. And sanction yourself, authorize yourself, validate yourself for being able to do that. This is your seat. This is your place. Drawing the metaphor from Buddhism, you touch the ground where you are. You have a right to be here. So that's kind of old school, and it's very real, and there's a lot of work for a lot of people to do about that, including in Western cultures that focus a lot on image and selling people and working people, and presentation and so forth. Okay.
Yeah.
1. 2, get comfortable with nonverbal process. There are a lot of ways to do that. One is just really tune into body sensations in your practice, mindfulness of breathing, do things that are around imagery, paint, open to imagistic imagination, disengage from the voice in the back of the head. Get comfortable with nonverbal process. Get more comfortable with that. Another thing I think is important is to get comfortable with the experience of surrender, of being swept along, or in a healthy sense submitting, or being given over to, or not exercising super tight top-down control. Regulation, even neurologically, really happens, to use it sort of loosely, top-down and bottom-up. And both are really important. Some people need more top-down control. They don't have enough impulse control. They have a Ferrari engine and bicycle brakes. They need more top-down regulation. Other people, a lot though, need to lighten up about the internal executive. I use the metaphor of a country with a capital city and then the provinces. For many people, they live entirely inside their capital city, and they have very little sense of the provinces, and they're at war with their provinces. And that over time, the provinces rebel. And so part of the process is to shift the ecology of power in their own internal world out of the capital city into more of the provinces, and allow the provinces to breathe and have more influence. So loosen the tightness of top-down control. Otherwise, again, how can you give over to purpose in practical ways? Another suggestion that's been, all these have been real for me in my own journey, because, I definitely was the opposite of all these when I landed in early adulthood and left home. Another one I think is really important is, and this goes to adult development theory, Daniel Levinson kind of stuff, is to reclaim the dream, reclaim what you knew when you were young. Man, I've been thinking about that lately. How, as children, including 4-year-olds, really young children, you know stuff you can't put in words, but you know stuff. Like for me, one of the major things I knew, and it's really present in all my earliest memories, is this wistful happiness. In my core, there was a disengaged happiness that felt unconditional, and yet also a sorrowfulness, just seeing so much unnecessary unhappiness and bickering and quarreling and tension and stress and aggravation. Kids, parents, adults, my family. And then in me was a real longing. This goes to my own origin myth, my own origin story. A longing to figure out what were the conditions, what were the causes of true happiness, reliable happiness, deep contentment, deep inner peace, falling back into the arms of love continuously. How to do that, actually. That set me on my way. And so I think I would invite people to look back on their early childhood, or your childhood through their teen years, even into early adulthood. What were the longings that really mattered? Sometimes those longings get shelved, and they need to be dusted off and reclaimed, reintegrated, honored, especially at the heart of it. Like, oh, okay, you wanted to be a rock star. Well, what did you want to experience or contribute through being a rock star? Maybe that boat has sailed because you never learned to play guitar. There's that. But yet there's something about playing and participating with people and helping them have a really good time, and along the way dropping in a little wisdom. That is at the heart of being a rock star. That's still available even if you're 75. What could you do? Let's look at that.